just a simple man working on the land.
Okay, so along with that, it's a little bit of a side jaunt here. I'll put a somewhere up here. I'm gonna put a link. I know because it's boring just watching me talk all the time. I'm trying to stay as like moving around, so there's a lot of action, so it's not as boring. But this really is all talk, and I'm gonna try and throw up pictures and links as they're appropriate as I can. I will preface it by saying not because of the television show Dual Survival, whatever it is, but I am a huge fan of Dave Canterbury. And if you're watching this and you've been around the community, a lot of you know who he is. Some people might know him just from the television show, from watching it. He was the guy who did the show with Cody Lundin and went out, and the two of them both, very highly trained professionals in their own right, different concepts, different philosophies, but they're both very well trained in preparedness, survival, things like that. Put into situations, they're filmed for 3 days, drop them in the woods, can you guys get out and let's film it. I never really watched that show. I don't know how I missed out on it. I never really saw it. I found Dave Canterbury through his YouTube channel, through Wilderness Outfitters, and through the Pathfinder School. And then realized, like, wait a second. Oh, he's the guy. He did that show, and now I've been all over Netflix. I've been watching all the shows, and it's funny to see him on a syndicated television show versus watching the dude in his backyard with a camcorder. I like the dude in the backyard with the camcorder a lot better. When it comes to the root survival level stuff, I want to share this with you because this has more recently than not really put a huge influence on my kit, my purchasing, what I've been not focused on, but a lot of the things I've done have stemmed from Dave's 10 C's of survivability. I'm not going to explain them. I'll list them real quick so you have them, but I'm going to link the video in here. I think there's a couple videos. I think he does them separately, and I would rather you watch it from him and have him explain it to you, because it's so much to get into. I could spend an hour just talking about it. Yeah, I'll just rattle them off and list them so you hear them, and at least they'll sound familiar when you watch the video. And I think in the order that he presents them in. The 10 C's. He just called them the 10 C's because he found a way to use the letter C for everything that he did. Some of them seem ridiculous, but you get the concept. Cutting tool, container, combustion device, cover, cordage. Those are the first five. Those are like the primary five. And when he explained why those are the first five and where the 10 C's come from, it makes perfect sense to me. Is simply that in the most elemental, minimalist, basic concepts, in the worst situation, if you are stuck out in the woods, which essentially is the worst situation, right? Because you'd want to do better than that if you had the opportunity. But if you will never have access to obtain physical objects again, these are the five things that you are going to want to possess that you cannot recreate or substitute in the world, in the wild, whatever you want to call it. That's what really got me when he made that statement. I understood the devices, what they're used for, demonstrates them all the time. But that's what really got me, as like, okay, this is the elemental stuff. If I have these, in the worst case, bottom level, like, it cannot get any worse than this. If I have these things, I should be okay. Number 6, compass. 7, cloth needle, which really means like a sail needle or a heavy-duty needle. Watch his videos, he'll explain it. Cloth bandana. Candle. I don't really think he means an actual like wax candle, but a candle is in a light source of some form. Blah, blah. And the last one is calls it cargo tape, but it really just means duct tape, gorilla tape, something like that. And then he attached onto that later on the 5 redundant C's. Pretty witty, I give it to him. That was pretty slick. Redundancies basically mean like, okay, these things are so goddamn important that it's worth your while to carry duplicates or extras of, or to tack them on. More than one cutting tool, more than one container, a knife sharpener, iodine tablets, and slingshot blades. I'm not going to get into this. I just listed them so you hear them. Watch his videos. He'll explain all that stuff to you. I'll let him do it. It's his stuff. I don't want to steal his thunder anyway. And you should get into his channel. I spent weeks watching. He's got like 900 videos, and I think I've watched like 200 of them. I don't need to know all of the stuff that he does as far as, blacksmithing. He's got like 100 something videos on blacksmithing. I'm never going to do that. It seems cool. I'd love to watch it someday, but not whatever. You're not going to find use for watching like all 900 of his videos, but if you've got the time, there's probably a good 200 or 300 that will definitely influence you in a positive way. Okay, now, as I've been prepping, I'm a computer kind of guy. I love spreadsheets. I love Excel. I put everything on the computer. My friends make fun of me all the time. It's ridiculous, but I make spreadsheets. So when I started planning and I started trying to figure out what are the categories, what are the elements I need to focus on. I need these items. I want this item. I need these items to fill this. I need these items to fill this. Moving past this 10 C's of survivability, I'm just talking about preparedness. As I started going through resources, I started writing down notes about like, okay, these all seem to kind of fit into this category. These all seem to fit into this category, and I made a list. Now I'm gonna read them off. I'll start putting little annotations up here. Obviously, I'm filming this video before I'm doing it, and I'm winging it, so I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, up here, there's going to be, like, a list, like, bullet points. I'll put them up here. It'll be funny, watch. I'm horrible at making these videos. And in no particular order at all, just how my spreadsheet is worked out as I start filling in lists of, like, checks and balances. Do I have everything I need? Do I have everything that fills this desired category? Books falls under knowledge, whether they're actual physical books, whether they're PDF documents that I can read on my computer to learn education information. Carrying devices, backpacks, EDC packs, anything like that. This is my like, shh, don't tell anybody. I have a thing for bags, not purses, not like a woman thing, but bags. I have like tons and tons of backpacks. I don't use them all. I just like cool bags. Different tactical bags, different kind of backpacks, different pouches. I don't know what the hell it is. It's like a mental thing. Whatever. Weapons, self-defense, all kind of going together. Shelter equipment, duh. Cooking equipment, and that really means the cooking is like the physical, stove, pots, pans, utensils. Food, water, fire, duh, come on. Currency, I just listed as currency. This can also constitute bartering items. I'm just starting to get into those concepts as well. I'm learning that little niche of preparedness. Medical supplies, hygiene, clothing, tools, like utility type tools. I don't mean like your bushcraft knife. I mean like, carry screwdrivers, drill, wrench, what tools, like working tools. A lot of people don't consider this. They don't think of it or put any effort into it by itself. Entertainment. As human beings in the 21st century, we need entertainment. And especially when it gets really bad, just to keep yourself mentally stable, you need to be able to like release a little bit and find some form of entertainment. Power and or fuel. Communications. Light. I keep light separate from fire and communications, like light just by itself. I separated out EDC because that's where I started. So a lot of those things are in like EDC kits. They're not like in one thing or another. Um, One of the last ones I added was signaling and navigation. It really probably falls more under communications, but specifically signaling and navigation, especially as I've learned more about it in the more elemental forms or survival forms. And the last one, which I think, which is the one that I really personally have not spent time on, and I'm ashamed to say, is what I call the miscellaneous volatile stuff. If I'm leaving this house and I am never coming home again, I'm a technology junkie, like a lot of people are. My world is on my laptop, on my computer, on hard drives. I need to make sure that. Let me just explain real quick what I consider volatile. I learned this coined terminology from my father, who works in IT. Volatile information is volatile is anything that you possess that if you lost is irreplaceable. Photographs, number one, whether they're physical or digitized. Do not underestimate the value of the documentation of your personal life. Let me just say that. That's all I'm going to say. So, like for me, when it comes to computer stuff, I have lots of documents, things that I've created. Those are volatile. All my MP3s, theoretically, those aren't volatile because I can always go download them again. I can find them somewhere else. Programs are not volatile. I can download this again. If I lose my photographs, if I lose home movies, those are volatile. Those are the things that you want to back up. Those are the things you want to make sure that you have copies of in your EDC kit, whether you're going to carry a USB stick, whether you're going to carry a hard drive, whatever it is. Very important, and I ashamedly have not spent enough time preparing in that realm. This also constitutes scanning all your important documents, insurance paperwork, IDs, passports, certifications. I work in a certified field where I have Department of Health certifications that if I don't have on me, even just in my daily life for my job, I can face severe penalties. But lots of people will have certain situations. So pay attention to the volatile things that need to go with you. A lot of people don't think of it. So those constitute my component list. And if you find value in it to take this list off of here and start your own, you can start filling in bits and pieces of, and balancing, like, okay, well, I've spent a little bit of money here. Okay, I've got, carrying device, that's pretty much covered. Okay, I've got a backpack, got an EDC thing. Okay, so that's kind of covered. What should I focus on next? And you can start utilizing that information to decide how you're going to spend your money, your time, your resources, whether they're important to you. You can use them to rank them in order of importance for you. Utilize it. Take this information, please. If it's helpful, here you go. Okay, equipment selection. Where do I start with this? This is weird because as you can see, I spent a lot of time thinking through things. We're getting into specifically equipment, physical objects, stuff that you're going to buy for your kit, whether you're talking about a new blade, you're talking about water bottle, you're talking about the tent you're going to buy, the pack, whatever it is. I hem and haw over everything. I find every possible alternative. I look at every possibility there is and compare them all and then decide what I want. I never really had a system to do it. It all happened in here, most of it subconsciously, where I could just I could look at a computer screen and be like, okay, there's this one, and there's that one, and there's that one, and I can look at a list of here's all the things that they can do, here's all the things they can't do, here's the comparison charts. You can go, some websites are really good where you can see comparisons of things, and I can just look at it and be like, that's not gonna that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. Okay, those two work for me. they're pretty much the same, and maybe it boils like maybe it's like that one looks cooler. I'm gonna get that one, or that one looks cooler, but it doesn't work as well as that one does. So I've always had some kind of ingrained idea of choosing some process that I use, and I never really had a process for it. I will say this: if you have a difficult time, say you're venturing into an area of preparedness that you just really don't know anything about, and you're like, I wouldn't even know where to start. I suggest to you this. I'm going to put up a link. Bing! Or like here, somewhere here. Somewhere here. I'm going to put up a link, and I'm going to defer back to Dave Canterbury. And something I found out in watching his videos that he didn't like really say a lot. People know from the TV show that he spent time in the military. He was an SRT sniper. He was trained in like military survival techniques. Blah blah blah. Apparently, after the military and before he started doing this YouTube stuff, he spent time in industry, in the automotive industry, something like that, as and I'm going to use a term here that a lot of people probably won't know. I suggest you go look it up, and you'll see a little bit of it explained in his video. It's called Six Sigma. I learned about it many, many years ago from my father, who used it in industry, in working in IT and computers and stuff like that. I'm not going to try and explain it. I could spend days, and I can't explain it because I'm not that good at it, but Dave can. So watch his video. It's basically it's a system that you can utilize to help you select something and do something better, a better process, a better skill, things like that. The example that he uses in his video is in regards to selecting. I think he used it in his selection of the water bottle that he uses, and it's hilarious because I watched this, and as I was watching this video, I was laughing to myself because I'm like, crap, dude, I did all that in here, and I didn't even know I did all that. Um, so I I won't get into it. I'll let him explain it. All I gotta say is watch his video, find other videos, spend your time, watch reviews, take them all with a grain of salt. Everybody's got, anybody who does a review. If I start doing reviews on here, if I get lucky enough, I probably will do some sort of reviews on the equipment that I carry. Everybody's got a bias, and by bias I don't mean a bad bias. Everybody has a bias for their purposes. So whatever reviews you watch them with a grain of salt. Dave will tell you this. According to Dave's mentality, and I agree with it, which seems to be a contradiction, that people like me should not be doing any reviews on equipment because I don't have the ability to go out and use it. I just actually bought a crapload of equipment off of his website because I really like his stuff, and after utilizing Six Sigma and all these other things, I decided that it was the best option for what I wanted. But if I did I bought some cooking equipment. I bought a water bottle, and I bought his bush pot and things like that. And if I did a review right now, theoretically, you should find no value in it because I've never used them. They're clean. They still have the wrapping on them. So find all the information you can, but know that you're going to get a lot of different information. Spend your time, research, utilize some of these processes to find out what's best for you. Not what's best for you. That's the most important thing.